Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers.
Hello, everybody, and today we're going to be watching 4 very scary true highway horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. I've been down the highway a lot, usually in a car, usually with somebody driving at the wheel who isn't me. I don't have much experience like in horror stories that happen in the highway. But I guess we could just see what these people went through on a highway. Get into it right now. 100%. A car? Okay, here we are. Let's do this. Story number 1 by Mr. Morris.
There's a quick check off the highway, not too far away from where I live.
Okay.
It's the only thing open 24/7 in my rural, middle-of-nowhere town. It's about a 25-minute drive if I'm speeding, which I usually am. So to translate for all you city folk, it's basically right next door. My sleep schedule is beyond atrocious.
What is it?
So I've been to that quick check more than a handful of times.
Okay.
I like to think I'm pretty generic looking and nondescript, meaning I blend in well. But it wouldn't surprise me if some of the late-night workers recognize me by now. This happened just last week, so most of the details are still painfully fresh in my mind.
Okay, yeah.
It was past midnight and I was coding on my laptop.
Coding?
My productivity and focus peak between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m.
Damn.
So I was in that flow state that any hard worker craves.
Nice.
The problem with late-night grinding is that you go from perfectly comfortable to dying of hunger in a matter of minutes.
Wow.
Which is exactly what prompted me to shut things down and grab something to eat around the reasonable hour of 2 a.m.
Okay.
Just so you have an understanding of everything, I should mention that the highway leading to the quick check is more of a local road than an interstate, so it's usually pretty dead. The ride there was relatively uneventful. I pulled into the quick check, ordered a sandwich from one of the counters,
never heard of that
and roamed the aisles while I waited. The mix of caffeine I'm usually stimmed out on, and the ADHD I was born with, makes it difficult for me to sit still. So I was just kind of pacing around one of the corners of the store when I noticed something.
What is it?
Facing one of the refrigerators that lined the back of the store was a person sitting crisscross on the ground. It was such an odd sight that I initially overlooked it.
Really?
Then snapped my head back around to make sure I hadn't imagined it.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
And I hadn't. There was literally a person sitting on the ground at the end of the aisle, facing the refrigerator like he was examining it. I couldn't see anything other than the brown coat and jeans he was wearing.
Okay.
I needed to get a better look at this guy.
Why?
At his face, at least.
Okay.
So I walked a few aisles down. My plan was to turn the corner really quickly, get a good look at him, then turn back up one of the aisles, ideally before he noticed me looking.
Yeah, I guess.
Staring at strangers so explicitly is obviously really rude, so I didn't want him to catch me doing it.
Yeah.
I was trying to be inconspicuous about it, or at least appear like I was browsing the snacks. But I guess I didn't do a good job of that.
He noticed?
Because as soon as I turned the corner to look at him, he whipped his head around and stared back at me. His movement was so abrupt that I actually froze up for a few seconds, forgetting what I was even doing there in the first place. Let me tell you, one look at this guy confirmed he was far from normal.
What did he look like?
Forget about the sitting on the ground and staring into the refrigerator.
Weird hair?
This guy was definitely on something, which I could tell from his abnormally wide eyes and the way his lip was vibrating. Like it was fully quivering, almost as if he were cold. Except it was actually kind of hot in there, and he was also wearing a jacket. His posture was all twisted up too, like he was straining instead of sitting, if that makes any sense.
Dude, if I was in this situation, the way I would go about looking at his face is just like walk up to the refrigerator he's looking at and ask him, hey, what's in this one? Yeah, I don't know, just walk up to him, try to look at it, and then ask him, hey, what's in this one? And like, if he looks at me, then like, oh, that's his face. And then like, I don't know, like, say, okay, and then walk to another one. Yeah, that's how I would have done it.
But the worst thing by far was the look he was giving me.
Hate?
He wasn't smiling, and he wasn't scowling either. He was staring blankly at me with this dead-eye stare that made it kind of seem like he actually was dead.
Damn.
The whole scene was freaky as hell.
Yeah, don't do this.
After staring at each other for an uncomfortable amount of time, I finally averted my eyes and dipped up one of the aisles, eager to get my food and leave. It wasn't ready yet, though.
What?
I stood at the
What
counter
were you
and
getting
waited.
again?
The anxiety was getting to me. So I angled myself to face the corner of the store where the guy had been sitting.
Yeah, Human Dawn.
I was half expecting him to emerge from one of the aisles.
No.
At which point, I'm not sure what I would have done, but he
Walk
never
away.
did. Eventually, my food was ready.
Okay.
I promptly left the store without another thought.
Good.
I thought that was the end of it. But as I was turning to get back on the highway,
You saw him?
I saw something move out of the corner of my eye.
Oh.
I glanced back towards the store
What
and saw
was
a
it?
person running full speed from the store
shit.
entrance to the far end of the parking lot. I was already halfway onto the highway at that point,
Okay.
but as soon as I saw what looked like a brown coat, I knew it was him.
Shit.
As I drove past the quick check, I looked over at it one more time to see that guy was now jumping into a
Oh,
truck.
shit.
I didn't even want to imagine what a guy like that could possibly be rushing to do at 2 a.m. I
You.
was just happy I had nothing to do with
You
it.
don't know that.
I sped off, just wanting to get home in peace. After
Is
a
he
few
following
minutes,
you?
the last of the fluorescent storefront lights faded into darkness behind me, and I was
Okay.
driving through desolate nothingness once again.
Yeah.
I'm used to being the only car on the road when it's that late at
Okay.
night, which is why it was so surprising when I noticed headlights in my
Behind
rearview
you?
mirror. But
Yeah.
it was even more surprising
It
when I
was the
realized the
same
headlights were
guy?
getting closer, meaning they were going faster than me, and I wasn't exactly driving the speed limit.
Oh.
My first thought was that I was about to get pulled over,
No.
so I instinctively slowed down a bit. The headlights kept approaching, and I knew what was about to happen.
Yeah.
Police lights were about to start flashing,
No.
and my night was about to be ruined. But once the car finally got close enough, I realized
Yeah,
it wasn't
no.
a cop.
It
It
was
was
a
that
truck.
guy. That guy from the quick check.
Yeah.
It was the same car from the parking lot. I've never been more certain of anything in my life.
Yeah.
I slammed my foot back on the gas and got back up to speed. The guy behind me started flashing his lights at me and honking,
Honk,
and I didn't know
honk.
what to do.
Keep
Try and
going.
outrun him or pull over and just pray that he'd keep going. I was in a sedan and he was driving a pickup truck.
Yeah.
So I figured I could outrun him.
Yeah.
The faster I went, though, the more terrified I became.
Shit.
I can only describe that feeling as true terror.
Yeah.
The feeling that you're literally approaching death.
Damn.
By the time I'd gotten up to 100 miles per hour, the voice in my head was screaming that I was going to die if I kept
No.
accelerating.
What do you mean?
I swerved into the right lane,
Yeah.
hoping he'd shoot by me. But instead, he
He
actually
followed
swerved
you?
to stay behind me.
Shit.
I started slowing down
Why?
with the intention of pulling over on the shoulder, but the moment I took my foot off the gas, the truck actually rammed into me.
Yeah.
I grabbed the wheel
Now
to
you
stabilize
might
the car
die.
and realized I was in a life or death situation. The guy tailing me
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You said that you thought if you were to keep accelerating, you would die? No, you didn't die if you slowed down. Yeah. If you keep going, yeah, you might be able to escape him depending on how much gas you have. I don't know if there are places you can go on this highway, like, oh, maybe you can, like, turn to a different, like, road area, and, like, I don't know. What I do know is that you should not just go to your house anymore. What you have to do at this point is go on to the next, like, section, and, like, go somewhere that isn't the direction of your house, and just, like, keep driving until there are too many branching paths. And you just keep going. And maybe tell the police at this point. Say that somebody's ramming you. Hopefully the road has cameras on it. Cameras that are going to be able to catch his license plate.
He was trying to kill me.
Yes, he
Everything
is.
was happening so fast. I couldn't think. I knew he was going to try ramming
Yes.
me again. And at
Don't-
that speed, I knew I would be lucky not to spin out.
Yeah?
I don't know if it was the terror or my survival instincts
Okay.
kicking in, but the moment I saw him go for it, I swerved to the left and slammed on the brakes.
Ooh.
The truck shot past me, and I watched as he swerved back and forth a few times
Yeah.
before spinning out and shooting off the highway into the field.
Damn.
Despite how violently my hands were shaking and how terrified I
You
was,
kept your
I
hands
forced
on the
myself to
wheel?
start driving again. I sped the entire way
Yeah,
home.
okay. That's
As
good.
soon as I got inside, I called the police and reported the incident.
Yeah, the
although
highway
it's not like I could precisely describe where everything had gone down. They took my statement anyway, and I was happy to give it.
But the
I
highway,
know for
right?
a fact that Quick Check had security cameras in their parking lot.
Okay.
So I'm pretty confident they'll end up catching that guy.
Oh yeah, it's
only
been
a week since this happened.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything yet.
Dang.
My car isn't dinged up too badly.
Okay.
But I still need to get it repaired.
Well, that's
As for
evident.
why in the world that guy had gone after me, your
He
guess
saw
is as
you.
good as mine. I just hope I never see him again.
I don't know, he was pretty crazy. You know, pretty crazy. Maybe he thought crazy because he was a pickup driver. Pickup drivers
This
go
happened
crazy
in the summer
easily.
of 2022. I was 25 and working what I guess you'd call an unusual logistics job.
What is it?
I was hauling refurbished electronics and custom PC parts for this last mile delivery startup that was trying to compete with Amazon in weird rural markets.
Oh.
The routes were long and completely erratic. Sometimes I'd be driving for 12 hours straight, often through the night, hitting these remote parts of the Southwest that most delivery companies refuse to touch.
Oh.
The pay was decent enough to make it worth it, and I didn't mind the long drive since I
See,
had grown up in a road
driver.
tripping type family. This particular night, I was deep into the final leg of a Phoenix to Lovington run.
Dang.
It was around 1 in the morning, and I was winding through this desolate stretch of Route 82, past the outskirts of Lincoln National Forest in southern New Mexico. If you've never driven through that area at night, it's hard to describe how isolated it feels.
How?
The road is narrow and poorly lit. You might see another car every 20 or 30 minutes if you're lucky. But here's the thing about that particular stretch.
What?
It's also the only accessible route cutting through the area for miles.
Oh.
The GPS alternatives would add like 2 hours to the trip, winding you way north through Carrizozo or something like that.
Okay.
So if you needed to get from point A to
You'd
point B in that
that
part
way.
of New Mexico, you pretty much have to take Route 82.
Okay.
Anyway, I was listening to some true crime podcasts,
Ha.
and I rounded this bend and saw a red hatchback awkwardly pulled onto the gravel shoulder with its hazards flashing.
Okay.
I slowed down a bit out of habit. As I got closer, my headlights illuminated a woman standing next to the car.
Okay.
She was holding her phone high in the air like she was trying to catch a signal.
Oh.
My first instinct was
Help?
to just drive past.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not heartless, but I'm also not naive
Yeah.
about the kinds of situations you can walk into in that part of the state at that time of night.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about my own girlfriend, or
Aw.
my sister, and how I would want someone to stop if they were stranded in the middle of nowhere.
That's nice.
Plus, I wasn't completely defenseless.
Yeah.
I had a Glock 43 holstered just under my steering column.
Okay.
I never explicitly got permission from the company to arm myself,
Oh.
but given some of the areas we delivered
Yeah.
to, it seemed like common sense to me.
You should be allowed.
I slowed down and cracked the passenger window a couple inches.
Okay.
The woman, who didn't seem much older than me, rushed over immediately and
Yeah.
tried my passenger door handle, which was
No,
locked.
talk to me
She said
first.
she needed a ride to the nearest gas station
Okay.
and claimed her car had just died and she
Yes.
couldn't get anyone on the phone. Her voice had this jittery quality to it,
Oh,
like she was either
God.
really stressed or maybe on something.
Ah.
I hesitated for a few seconds.
Yeah.
The situation felt a little off.
Yeah.
But what tipped the scale was knowing I had a firearm within reach.
Yeah,
I
you
figured
were
if
okay.
things got sketchy, I'd be able to handle myself.
Yeah.
So I unlocked the door. She got in
Although, you know, I would have the gun, just like maybe under my age, right next to me between the areas, just right near my age. You know, obviously not pointed at me, but you know, if I really need to get it, pull it out. That'd probably help. But also, if she just needs a phone call, just give me the number and I'll call them for you. I mean, I guess I'm assuming he had service, I guess.
But what tipped the scale was knowing I had a firearm within reach. I figured if things got sketchy, I'd be able to handle myself. So I unlocked the door. She got in quickly and gave me this vague and slightly slurred "thank you so much" without really looking at me. The
What
way
was
she
she
slurred her
looking at?
words made me think she was drunk
Yeah.
or maybe a little tipsy.
That's
which
not
made
a
me a little
crime.
cautious. Before driving away, I asked her some obvious questions.
About.
Had she hit something, or
Yeah.
did the engine cut out, that sort of thing.
She didn't
But she kept
answer.
deflecting, repeatedly asking me to just drive. Nothing she
Ooh.
said really made sense.
Yeah, I know.
And I was leaning towards kicking her out of my car the more she talked.
She hasn't hurt anybody, though.
When I glanced over at her car one more time,
then we get our man.
Horror, a man stepped out from behind it like he had been hiding there the whole time. The adrenaline started to kick, and I turned to face forward. There was another figure that had stepped directly in front of the road, about 50 feet in front of us. There was something long in his hands, maybe a bat or a pipe. I couldn't tell exactly.
Hit him.
He started moving toward my car, and that's when my survival instincts took over.
Hit her out.
I floored it. I didn't even try to be subtle about it. The woman whipped around to look back and immediately started yelling.
Pull out the gun.
And started digging around in her purse for something.
Pull out the gun.
I had a feeling I knew what she was looking for.
Pull out the gun.
Before things could escalate, I yelled at her to freeze and drew my gun.
Yeah.
I didn't point it at her, but instead just rested it on the steering wheel so she could see it.
Shoot.
Whatever she had been reaching for, she stopped.
Okay, well, don't shoot her. I wasn't saying to shoot her. I just meant like point the gun at her.
My gun. I didn't point it at her, but instead just rested it on the steering wheel so she could see it.
Yeah.
Whatever she had been reaching for, she stopped immediately.
Get her out of here.
Not to move, and she didn't. To my surprise, she stopped talking too.
Yeah?
She just stared straight ahead with this expression I couldn't read.
You have to read it.
We were less than 30 minutes from Artesia.
What is that?
After a somewhat tense half hour, I pulled into a gas station. There were 2 other vehicles in the lot, both big rigs. I told her to get out. She refused at first and gave me some stupid reason I can't remember. But I leaned across her, yanked the passenger door open, and basically forced her out of the truck.
Damn.
She stumbled.
Man, I had this idea of what you could do in my head, but now that I'm actually thinking about it, it sounds kinda dumb. But okay, so a thought that went through my head for what you to do is you to basically just keep your gun on her while you're driving. At some point, obviously you have to stop the car. Get your phone out. Call 911 and let her know of this whole situation. Of course, you would have to put the phone on speaker, and you would obviously have to do several steps. You had to put the phone on your dashboard or something, and then keep talking to 911 while driving. But that is something you could do, but the woman could obviously do multiple things at that point. She could make a run for it. She could act like she's being kidnapped or held hostage. The main reason I thought of this idea is because, I don't know, this obviously seems like some sort of setup. It obviously seems like the crime. But I would automatically make her show me your purse. Not take anything out of it, just dump it on the floor or on the sheet. The only bad part is that probably brings her closer to the object. But your plan plays it safe a lot more.
Back and fell onto the pavement.
Okay, woman.
All the while yelling something completely incomprehensible.
She's drunk.
Someone started jogging over, probably one of the truckers.
Yeah?
And I could already envision the accusations that were about to fly. All that guy had seen was me throwing a woman out of the car.
Yeah, no.
And I didn't want to deal with the situation for a second longer. So I didn't. I yelled out a warning to him about her ill intentions.
Yeah,
but that was all I was gonna do. Then I peeled out of the lot before that guy could approach me and didn't look back.
Probably
I
not
drove
the
to
best
another
idea.
gas station and started filling my tank. Then I walked over to the passenger side to inspect the seat.
What happened?
Buried between the seat cushions was a burner phone battery and a sealed pack of zip ties.
What the
I didn't
heck?
even want to think about it. I tossed all of it in the trash and got back
That's
on the road,
evidence.
eager to be done with the journey. I never reported any of it.
You
Not
told
to the
us.
police, and definitely not to my company. Not because I didn't think it was worth reporting, but because, legally speaking,
Nothing happened.
I didn't really want to explain to a bunch of cops why I was driving around armed,
Oh,
or
yeah.
why I'd physically removed someone from my car. I'm not going to get into it, but you can connect the dots on that one yourself. One thing's for sure, though. Being armed that night may have very well saved my life.
Yeah. A burner phone battery. Wonder why that was. Okay, the story number 3. Also, guys, told the police anyway. Yeah, I know nothing will probably happen. Yeah, but it helps to at least try to tell the police about all this. Because who's to say that this won't happen again? Imagine if you didn't have the gun. What if they did this to other people? Just imagine if you were somebody else who wasn't carrying a weapon at the time. You would probably have wanted yourself to tell the police, right?
This happened about 3 years ago when my husband and I were driving cross-country from Utah to Georgia.
Okay.
Although the route we had mapped out wasn't the most direct, it passed through some places my husband really wanted to visit.
Okay.
The downside of that, though, was that we'd be cutting through some pretty desolate stretches of highway.
Yeah?
The worst part was this section of western Kansas along U.S. Route 400.
Okay.
Basically 100 miles of nothing but farmland.
Wow.
We'd been driving for most of the day, and I had fallen asleep in the passenger seat sometime around sunset.
Sunset.
I'm one of those people who can sleep anywhere in a moving car.
Ooh.
So I was out cold for a few hours.
I've done that a couple of times.
Around 10 at night, I woke up to the car slowing down and realized my husband had pulled into this tiny gas station off the side of the highway.
Okay.
My husband said he was going to grab some snacks and fill up the tank.
Yeah.
I figured it might have been my last chance for a while to use a real bathroom.
Yeah.
So I got out and headed inside. I didn't bother bringing my phone or purse with me.
Ooh.
I mean, I was just going to be in and out. So I didn't really see the need. The cashier was this older guy who didn't even look up when I walked in. The bathrooms were tucked down this narrow side hallway toward the back of the store. As I opened the women's restroom door, I almost bumped right into this woman who was coming out of one of the stalls.
What was she
which wouldn't have been that noteworthy were it not for what she looked like.
What?
She had messy, unkempt gray hair that frankly looked kind of disgusting and oddly sticky.
Ew.
She was also wearing these foam flip-flops that made this soft slapping sound when she walked.
Okay.
As if that wasn't bizarre enough,
what
stood out the most was this thick purple and green coat she was wrapped in.
Oh.
Let me remind you, we were in Kansas in the middle of summer.
Oh, yeah,
it was probably 80 degrees out.
Shit.
She was carrying this tied-up plastic grocery bag. And when
she saw me, she's weird.
She just stared. Not like a normal, oh, excuse me kind of look.
No.
But this locked-on stare that felt weirdly expectant. Like she was waiting for me to say or do something specific.
Right.
I didn't know what I was expected to do, so I just gave her a polite nod and tried to step around her. But she didn't exactly rush to let me through.
Oh.
I figured that was the end of it. That she'd leave me and I could get on with my life.
No.
But no. Instead of leaving, the woman actually turned around to follow me and stepped toward the sink area.
Oh, no.
But she didn't turn on the water or look in the mirror or do any of the normal things you do at a sink.
She
just stood there with her arms at her sides, like she was again waiting for me to do something.
Right.
I was already feeling uneasy,
Made the conversation?
so I went into the nearest stall and locked it.
Oh,
the second I sat down, I immediately regretted not bringing my phone or anything with me.
Why?
I had no way to text my husband if something went wrong, and I was starting to get the feeling that something was definitely off about this woman.
No.
I sat there for what felt like a few minutes.
No. I could not go into a stall until I see that woman leave. Because it's just too creepy. I'm looking at these stalls, and she could look under it, she could look over it, she could look between it. No, but between it? No. Also, I have to be sitting down. At this point, I'm the one who feels trapped. Because she had the advantage of space. No, I cannot go into a stall. Either I'm going outside the bathroom and waiting, or I'm just gonna wait until she goes.
Just waiting for her to leave.
Yeah?
Eventually, I heard the soft slap of her flip-flops moving toward the door.
Did they
and the
open?
sound of the bathroom door opening and slamming
no,
shut.
I don't trust
I waited a few extra moments to make sure she was really gone.
Did you hear her?
And then I realized something.
She wasn't.
I could still hear breathing.
Yeah.
Not my own. Someone else's, coming from somewhere in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It dawned on me that she had faked
Yeah.
leaving. She must have opened and slammed the door to make it seem like she left.
Yeah.
But she was still in there, standing silently somewhere near the exit, probably in the corner by the door, just out of my line of sight.
Oh, no.
I didn't move.
Yeah.
I sat in complete silence for a really long time, trying to quiet my breathing because I was terrified at the thought of her hearing me.
What would that do?
The whole time,
She
I kept
knows
thinking
where
about
you
how
are.
stupid I was for not bringing my phone.
Yeah.
Eventually, the door was opened and closed again.
You
The breathing
trust
stopped
that?
too,
Okay,
which sent a
okay.
wave of relief over me. I still wasn't completely convinced though.
Yeah.
So I waited for another half minute or so.
Dude, at that point, I would have to, like, open the door. Or, like, I would at least, like, duck down and look under the little, like, hole. Not hole. I would have to look under the little opening to trust that. But then, like, you have no real reason to be afraid. Like, the woman you described doesn't sound that powerful. And as far as you know, she doesn't have a weapon. So it sounds like you guys are basically on equal footing. I'm sure you'd probably just, like, well, not beat her up, but, like, probably, like, push her at least a little bit. But I don't know. I am not taking my pants off until I see that woman outside the bathroom.
Just as I was about to unlock the stall,
You went?
I heard a huge gasp.
Oh!
Had just been holding their breath, followed by the bathroom door opening and closing
No,
again.
no.
That's when I truly started freaking out.
Yeah.
That woman had pretended to leave the bathroom twice.
No.
I had absolutely no idea what she wanted.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was playing these games with me
Yeah.
made it clear that whatever it was
Was
wasn't good.
ill-intentioned?
I didn't know what to do. Part of me was sure she was gone.
No.
But if she had pretended to leave twice, it wasn't crazy to assume she had done it a third
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Finally, the suspense was killing me, and I couldn't take it
Open
anymore.
the stall.
I unlocked the stall as quietly as I could and stepped out,
No.
fully expecting to see her standing there.
Oh,
But the
God.
bathroom was empty.
Okay.
I washed my hands as quickly as possible and stepped out of the bathroom.
When did you have time to, like, pee? Like, my one condition for peeing is basically knowing that I'm, like, not being watched. And, well, she probably maybe can't see you. Like, the fact that, you know, somebody knows that you are peeing, and, like, their attention is on you completely. No. Like, that's why I can't pee when, you know, that's why I can't pee in, like, one bathroom with my parents. Like, sometimes there's, like, two places to pee, like, oh, there's two toilets on either side of the room. Or, like, two urinals. My dad is in the other, I'm in this one. It would basically just, like, it basically is a locked bathroom. I still can't go. I have to wait for the other person to leave first. So no, I cannot pee. I would be waiting in there with my pants on, just maybe not even sitting down.
And stepped out, fully expecting to see her standing there.
She wasn't.
But the bathroom was empty.
Okay.
I washed my hands as quickly as possible and stepped out of the bathroom. I had no idea where the woman had gone or if she was waiting for me somewhere else in the store. When I got back to the main part of the store, there was this large man checking out at the counter.
Okay.
I lingered by one of the racks near the front until he finished his transaction and walked out.
Yeah.
Then I used him as cover to exit the store.
Okay.
I figured if the woman was waiting outside, at least there would be another person around.
Yeah.
Part of me thought I was being overly paranoid.
No.
But that thought was shattered the moment I stepped outside.
And you saw her?
As soon as I exited the store, I saw her again. She was lingering off to the side of the front entrance of the store. This time clearly glaring at me. She was holding something in her hand that I couldn't quite make out. It looked like a knife, but I wasn't sure.
No, she is dangerous.
The way she was holding it, though, and the way she was slightly crouched, like she was preparing to spring, honestly made it seem like she was about to attack me. I prepared myself to have to scream or run or even fight, but instead of moving towards me, the woman quickly turned and walked around the side of the building toward the back. I ran to our car and got in.
No. You have to go to the cashier. I know it's not his, like, legal job to, like, protect you. But, like, I think it's a part of his, like, kind of, like, job. Like, it's almost the job of everybody who works behind that kind of sedation to protect you. It's kind of how, like, when you work at a bank, you have, like, robbery checks or something. Basically, I think every convenience store worker has a kind of obligation to, like, at least try to prevent something like this from happening. Like, so far in that you told the police and stuff, I don't know, that's a part of the job, I feel like.
As fast as I could.
Okay.
My husband looked confused and asked what had taken me so long.
Have your phone on
I told him
you.
I'd explain once we were back on the road.
Yeah.
He didn't question me and just pulled away. As
Better
we were
not.
leaving, I looked back and saw the woman standing at the edge of the building, watching our car.
Oh no.
I don't know why, but
Why?
seeing her made me so unsettled and uncomfortable.
She would play
I
you.
told my husband everything.
Yeah.
And he kind of got mad at me for
What?
not bringing my phone with me to call him for help. Which was fair.
Yeah.
But that was that. And the two of us agreed to try and forget about the whole thing and go back to enjoying ourselves.
Could you do it?
I will say that I don't use roadside restrooms anymore.
Oh,
which
wow.
I'm not in the slightest bit upset about.
They're dirty? Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, what? There's a 4. No fair, you lied. Oh, wait, no, you
This
didn't.
happened to me in 2020. I was 24 at the time.
Okay.
Working for a small logistics company.
God,
My
it's
job was
only
to deliver
logistics
automotive parts between
companies.
cities in the Midwest. Most of the time it was easy
You're talking
work,
here,
long
there,
drives,
there,
decent
here?
pay, and nobody breathing down my neck.
Okay.
But that job is also the reason I will never stop at a highway rest area after dark again.
Damn.
It was mid-January, freezing cold. The kind of night where even the dashboard lights feel too bright.
Oh.
I was driving along the I-80 heading east
I-80.
from Des Moines on my way to deliver a package to Davenport. The drive was about 3.5 hours. I'd left around 8 p.m., and by 10:30 I was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just the sound of the tires on the asphalt and the occasional semi blowing by in the opposite lane. Around that time, I started to get really drowsy. My eyelids felt heavy, and I could feel myself zoning out.
Okay.
I spotted
Well,
one of
that's
those
not
blue
good.
rest area 1 mile signs.
Oh,
I decided to
rest
pull off for a few
area.
minutes to stretch my legs and grab a drink from the vending machine.
Okay.
The rest stop looked completely deserted.
Wow.
A few dim streetlights, a small brick building with restrooms, and about a dozen parking spaces.
Rest
Only one
area.
other vehicle was there. An old white van parked way
No,
off at the
too
end of the lot,
sleepy.
lights off. I parked under one of the lights,
Okay.
locked the truck, and went inside. The men's room
Rest
smelled faintly
area.
of cleaning solution and mildew. The heater was
Ew.
making a weird rattling noise. I washed my face with cold water to wake up, and when I looked up into the mirror, I thought I heard the door open behind me.
No.
I turned, but no one was there.
Okay.
I stood still for a second, just listening, but there was nothing but the hum of the heater.
Good.
I figured it was just the wind and finished up quickly. When I stepped outside, I noticed something that made me stop.
No.
The white van's headlights were now on.
Ooh.
The engine wasn't running, but the lights were on. I didn't
Yeah.
remember hearing it start. I got this bad feeling immediately.
What?
I unlocked my truck
Yeah.
fast, and I climbed in and started the engine. I pulled out of the parking
Are you
space
gonna
and headed
check
toward
the
the exit.
tires?
As I did, the van's lights suddenly shut off again.
Oh.
I remember thinking maybe someone was sleeping in there and just accidentally hit the lights.
Ha.
But as I got back on the highway, I kept checking my mirrors. For about 5 minutes, nothing happened.
Okay, good,
Then,
good.
in the distance behind me, I
Headlights?
saw headlights. 2 small dots getting closer.
Oh.
It was the van.
No, no.
At first, I
Turn.
wasn't sure, but as it got closer, I could see it was the same boxy white van.
Shit.
No company logo, no side windows, just a dirty cargo van.
Dirty.
It caught up to me fast and got right on my tail. I was already going about
Turn
75,
after that
but the
turn.
van stayed inches behind my bumper. Then it switched lanes, sped up beside me, and matched my speed.
Game.
The driver rolled down his window halfway.
What did he
I could
say?
barely see his face. Just a shadow and maybe a baseball cap.
Oh, the sleepy had time to pack.
To roll mine down, but I didn't.
No, you keep going.
He kept gesturing and then pointed at my truck bed, like he was trying to tell me something was wrong. At first, I hesitated. Maybe one of my straps had come loose or something.
Oh no. Okay, so there are two possibilities. One, the man is lying and trying to trick you. Or, the sleepier option is that something is hiding inside the bed, which is equally creepy.
Let's do this. But then I noticed something that didn't make sense. There was nothing in the bed of the truck.
Oh.
It was completely empty.
Oh, okay.
That's when I realized he wasn't trying to warn me. I kept driving, pretending not to notice him.
Okay,
he started honking and drifting closer to my lane. I swerved slightly to keep distance, and he sped ahead, cutting in front of me. For a second, I thought he was going to slam on the brakes.
No.
But then, without warning, he veered onto the shoulder and came to a full stop.
Oh.
I flew past him, my heart pounding. I stayed in the fast lane, going nearly 90 now, just trying to get away.
Yeah,
a few seconds later, I checked my mirror again.
What?
The van was back on the road. It followed me for another 20 miles.
You have to tell the police.
Sometimes it would fade back until I couldn't see it. Then out of nowhere, it would speed up again and appear right behind me.
Oh no.
I decided I needed to stop somewhere public.
Yeah.
The next sign said there was a truck stop 5 miles ahead.
Is that gonna do anything?
I took that exit first, pulled into the lot, and parked right under a bright light near the diesel pumps. There were a few semis lined up, and I could see a few drivers inside through the windows of the diner next door. The van didn't pull in immediately. I waited maybe 2 minutes. Then it came slowly up the ramp and into the lot. I got out of my truck and headed straight into the diner.
To tell them?
As soon as I walked in, the bell above the door rang. The woman behind the counter looked up. She was maybe in her 50s. I told her that a van had been following me for the last half hour.
Yeah.
She must have seen how shaken I was because she called over the trucker sitting at the counter.
Okay, what did he say?
This guy stood up. Huge guy. Yeah. Flannel shirt, gray beard. He walked outside with me, and the second we stepped out, we saw the van idling at the far end of the lot, just sitting there, facing my truck.
No.
The trucker muttered something like, "Yeah, that ain't good," and told me to go back inside.
Okay, see, these people work at a diner. They are under probably no obligation to do any of this for you, but they are doing it, and they work at a diner. So yeah, that's why I figure that it's the obligation of all these tiny places to, like, have some sort of, like, protective measures for people. That's my opinion, anyway.
He walked straight toward the van. I didn't hear what he said, but a few seconds later, the van suddenly reversed, swung around, and peeled out of the lot, heading back toward the highway.
Good, maybe.
The trucker came back, shaking his head. He said there were two guys in there, both wearing hoodies.
Oh, that's creepy.
Both just staring straight ahead, not saying a word. I stayed in that diner for almost an hour, until I was sure they were gone.
Okay.
I finished the rest of my drive with my eyes glued to the rearview mirror.
Good.
When I got back to Davenport, I parked under the hotel lights and checked my truck.
Anything?
Everything was fine, but there were two smudges on the tailgate.
Ooh.
Like someone had tried to open it with dirty hands.
Ew.
I quit that job a few months later.
Good.
Now, every time I drive long distance, I fill up before dark, bring snacks, and I don't stop unless it's somewhere crowded and open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact, if I had rolled down that window or pulled over when they told me to, I wouldn't be here telling this story.
Yeah. Okay, so what did we learn from this video? Bring your phone, call the police. Every small place on a highway should have some sort of protective measures. And, is that all? Is that all I learned? Oh, like, maybe just don't go outside if you're, like, tired. Like, just have a lot of food in your place that you can eat late at night. And, like, have coffee at your house, maybe? I don't know. But, also, the scariest video, I feel, the scariest episode was definitely, like, the bathroom one. That one was terrifying. But, okay, everybody, that is all I have to say about this Mr. Nightmare video. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!